Hello everyone, I'm Squallcasting, bringing to you yet more community games. It's been forever since I've been able to do them. I'm finally starting to catch up and clear out my backlog of old stuff that I've wanted to do but haven't been able to. So that's what's happening now. So in this game we've got Reyder. We've featured him several times. This is a placement match? Whatever. So yeah, this is Reyder. At the time of this submission, he was still in silver. You've seen Reyder in my more recent videos, as in the clan war that I did between Dark Onyx and Samurai Faith. But this replay was sent to me before then, so I'm just now going into the past to finish things from back then. So yeah, we've Dark isn't too happy about that. But yeah, we've seen a couple games from Reyder. Pretty much every game we've ever seen him in, he's played very kind of standard, very safe. You know, favors things like 1 Rax Gasless FEs, you know, where you can get a strong economy and then build up a really nice force and do a really good timing push with when he gets medevacs, things of that nature. So his opponent over here is Dark. I know nothing about him, aside from the fact that he's in a gold league and he lost his placement match, which is a little bit sad. I don't think I've actually won a placement match in like 3 or 4 seasons, which is, yeah, kind of sad. Oh man, I'm very out of practice at this game, especially in 1v1s. I just don't do them much anymore because most of the time I'm on StarCraft, like 95% of it is spent doing casting now. So Reyder is going to scoot on in. Looks like he's going to try to block the expansion a little bit. How very fun. Nice waypoints, man. And we'll see if the Dark manages to get the hatchery done right now. Nope. SUV's going to scoot back in again. And now he's just going to pull it on home. And just bought some time. And Dark actually didn't even have the minerals to do it anyways. Looks like he started an extractor and made a few more drones during that process. Reyder, on the other hand, doesn't have any gases yet, getting his orbital now. This Overlord is scooting in. It might get picked off if Reyder rallies his Marine out soon enough. Although I think it should be able to get back out over the open space before that becomes an issue. Got Marine is in hot pursuit. Oh, Reyder's going to drive it away from that edge. We'll see if Dark manages to respond time. Yeah, I think that might actually go down, which would definitely inconvenience Dark. I don't think it'll quite outright supply block him, but it's never a good thing. Okay, he's trying to get it away. That Marine is, well, he's used up a lot of ammo. Oh, it looks like Reyder miscontrolled a little bit. I still think he'll be able to get that, though. This command center on the way. Reyder starting his wall off, and boom goes the Overlord. Huh, they don't die as gorily with these graphic settings that I'm using now. If you didn't know, there's a thread on Team Liquid called like low/high or low/ultra or something like that, graphic settings. And basically it's a bunch of settings. It makes the game look really good, but it kind of gets rid of a bunch of the really small details. Like for example, usually when Hellions are idle, you'll see a little flame coming out of the thing that shoots the flames. With these settings that doesn't happen, but on the overall though, the game actually looks pretty good. You know, doesn't require as much CPU and GPU usage, and that way, you know, I decided to go with that so that I could, you know, record these videos and have less frame drops. Because those have occasionally plagued me when I was running on higher settings, so I guess that's why there's less blood now. So Reyder continuing to wall off, making a bunker there. Looks like he's not going to try to fully wall that off. I would like to see him do that just to provide protection against Ling run-bys and things like that. Dark is getting an Evo chamber. Speed is very nearly done. Getting a second gas. And, well, we'll have to see if he decides to go into roaches or something like that, or if he's going to do a Speedling Infestor type build. Or maybe something in a bit of a newer style, where lately we've been seeing a lot more Zergs just go really, really heavy Banelings, and they won't get Infestors as fast, they won't get as many Infestors, but they'll just have so many Banelings, it'll be ridiculous. So, we'll see what he opts for. Yep, okay, so there's a Roach one and a Baneling nest at the same time. Interesting choice. Don't know if he'll quite have the gas to support full production of both of those, but it doesn't really matter. So long as we see Banelings, I'm pretty happy, because Banelings are just Banelings, every caster loves Banelings. Because there's nothing else that can make you just go, oh, oh, and it's like, you know, screaming. And I'm not going to actually scream because I don't want to deafen you, but there's little that is more exciting than watching a huge swarm of Banelings trying to crash into a big group of Marines. It's the most exciting and terrifying thing ever. So, in any case, Reyder has added on a second factory. Interesting decision. Looks like he's going to go for a Marine tank build. A little bit old school, but still can be quite good. We'll see when he decides to add on a starport, or if he even chooses to. Personally, I would generally always get a starport, just because I want to be able to heal my Marines and keep them alive longer. But that said, getting medevacs does, of course, reduce how many tanks you can get because it's using up gas. But Reyder's still in a defensive posture. Dark doesn't look like he wants to attack anytime soon. He is making a bunch of roaches now, so he could push out soonish, but he doesn't really have too much in the way of supporting units. We'll see if he chooses to make Zerglings at some point so we can get some Banelings. He is getting Baneling speed, so he's definitely investing into that and definitely wants to make use of that. Not too much else to say. As my computer frame drops, everything I was saying before about, oh, but these settings, it looks good, it looks shiny and awesome, but it doesn't drop as many frames. Yeah, it still drops frames here. This computer is, oh, how old is it now? I think it's 3 years old at this point. I got it 9 months before I got married, and we had our 2-year anniversary 3 months ago, so... Yeah, sounds about right. So 3 years old. When I got it, it was pretty good, but not like the absolute cutting edge, so... Yeah. And while StarCraft is, you know, far from the most intensive game on the market, you know, doing it plus recording at the same time can tax a computer just a little bit. But back to the game, Reyder is adding on tanks 2 at a time. He does have siege mode. He's got a decent group of Marines and tanks now. Dark is moving out, but he really doesn't have very much. He needs to produce a lot of stuff really soon if he hopes to deal with this, because he's going to have some tanks knocking on his front door pretty soon. He is taking a third right now, and wow, has quite a lot of larvae saved up. Hopefully he starts using those soon. Okay, he's making some roaches. I think he needs to get more than just roaches, because roaches alone are not going to deal that great with the tanks. I think he needs a mix of roaches and banelings to deal with. And not, what are those roaches doing? That was goofy. Bit of a pathing error, I guess. So he's moving out. Looks like he wants to take this tower, which will inform him that, yes, there are a whole bunch of Marines there. Reyder continuing to push forward very slowly with these tanks. And Dark has an Overseer with his force. Not quite sure why. Because, I mean, Reyder hasn't made ghosts or anything like that. And, oh, here we go. Could have an engagement between these roaches and these Marines. Flanking force coming to the side. All the tanks are sieging up. And a lot of the Marines are dying. The roaches surging forward to try to... Oh, but Dark hesitates and pulls back and loses a ton of stuff. I think he could have done a lot more damage there. He probably would have lost all his roaches eventually, but he could have, at the very least, cleaned up these tanks and really defanged this attack. And now Reyder's going to be able to tuck himself in here. A very nice spot to siege up. 1 or 2 roaches will be able to shoot down, but overall, that's going to be a real pain for Dark to deal with. He's producing some Zerglings now. Ground carapace finishing up soon. That will help a lot against the Marines. Third is finished. Tanks are on the way, but Reyder is starting to clear out the rocks so he can move up and attack. A whole bunch of banelings coming in. Remember, these do have speed, but Reyder has a nice spread with his tanks, so Dark's going to need to time when he goes in with these very, very well if he wants to kill much of anything with it. The rocks go down. Reyder continuing to rally units forward. Has a nice supply depot wall here, so it doesn't need to worry about laying run-bys too much if he raises it in time. And he's moving forward. He's got a scan now, so he can kill a creep tumor, which he does, and then pulls back. Roaches and Zerglings running forward, trying to deal damage, but there's so many tanks and they are so well spread out. These tanks are going to die, or at least one of them, but Dark does pull back. And I feel like he's really struggling with how to engage against these tanks. And if you're ever in a position like this, you need to bear in mind, tanks are very immobile, tanks are very vulnerable when unsieged, and tanks have difficulty dealing with attacks coming from multiple directions. So if you can swing around a group of lings from here and flank down here, and then attack from here at the same time, you will do a lot more damage than if you just come from one angle. Marines, though, surging forward, trying to deal some damage. Dark is able to repel that, but the tanks are ready. Reyder looks like he's ready to move forward. A few more tanks. Those tanks very exposed. Some Marines here dealing some damage and being harassy, but they do get cleaned up as their bodies melt away in a pile of acid. How very sad. And wow, there's a lot of... If Reyder scans, those banelings are all dead. Scan. Reyder. Reyder, all you have to do is scan. All you have to do is a single scan and all these banelings will evaporate in a cloud of green. Reyder. I believe in you, Reyder. At any moment... Oh, okay, looks like the tank back there got cleaned up. I missed it because I was all like, there's banelings up here! Dark moves forward, manages to take out those tanks, but then does dart away. This Overlord does get picked up now. Are there air units now? Well, how is he able to see that Overlord? I thought it was above the high ground. Well, I guess it wasn't. There we go. Roaches engaging those Marines once again. And Dark looks like he's trying to engage kind of with the banelings, but he needs to bring those banelings. Okay, here we go. Banelings rolling down, but nope, pulls back. He realizes that's not quite going to work out. And moving up the ramp, that's iffy. You don't want to be in a position where you can get bottlenecked at a choke point as Zerg. I'm not trying to like massively criticize what Dark is doing, but you know, things to bear in mind. You don't want to get bottlenecked. That is the worst thing in the world. And Reyder's just continuing to siege up his opponent. He does have medevacs now, and all the roaches going forward, but not involving the banelings. Oh, he needs to attack with everything at once. That's what he needs to do. And Reyder just really has a... Well, kind of has a lock on what's going on here. Dark is really tentative to engage into those siege tanks. And seems to be afraid of using up his banelings as well. If these medevacs scoot forward... Oh, man. Are they going to see it? Tanks! Oh, yeah. The tanks start shelling away the roaches. Looks like they're trying to attack from the high ground. Definitely a bit of a blunder. They are not quite in range. But here we go. Oh no, all the banelings getting caught behind the roaches. He needs to split those up into 2 control groups. And Dark just really struggling and losing so many units to tank fire. And Reyder still just pushing forward very patiently. Just has a really nice spread of tanks. And Dark really struggling to figure out how to break this. He's got a lot more units coming out. But Reyder has just been slowly reinforcing this, and all those Marines that have been damaged are now getting healed up by these medevacs, slowly, but surely. And here we go. Dark looks like he's going for it one last time. Baneling surging on forward. The tank's starting to pick off the Banelings. And, oh, it looks like he will get all the tanks, but he has no Banelings left, so he can't deal with the Marines. The Marines do have stim, and Dark just leaves the game. Reyder takes a very short victory lap, blowing apart that roach. I think that roach right there is in the middle of its death animation. Actually looks pretty cool. And it looks like it's getting hit by about 20 bullets at the same time. Oh, man. So, well played by Reyder. He did also tell me that this was the match that got him into gold. So, congrats, Reyder, on getting up into gold. Formerly a silver player, now a gold level player. Slowly improving as he just learns the game better, I guess. That was a bit awkward. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. More community games coming at you soon.